Quite recently, I noticed that I have been clarifying a misconception when receiving foreign investors and foreign visitors in Shenzhen. I think it's quite important, so I like to record a video to explain it. This misconception is when it comes to physical AI, China is good at hardware, meaning the locomotion or that you have seen about unitaries, fancy dancing, and flexibility, that sort of thing. But US is superior in foundational model, the brain itself. I just believe this idea is quite universal, especially in Western countries like Europe, even in the US. I reserve my conclusion to the end, but I wanted to explain. Actually, it's not which one is better. It's completely two different trajectory to approach the foundational model of physical AI. Some of you might be quite familiar with the US approach, which is simulation data is the ultimate route towards artificial general intelligence. In this narrative, simulation engine and computing power are two key factors to determine the ultimate performance and the quality of a foundational model. If you buy in this narrative, it's safe to say that China couldn't really compete with the US because in the foreseeable future, US is still going to be leading in terms of simulation engine and computing power. Therefore, if this narrative stands, US is going to win the game of foundational model, aka the brain, in physical AI, and the end of story. However, China brings another narrative which is not as popular as US narrative. China fundamentally believes what I call it software and hardware co-design. So this means we agree that simulation data is indispensable. But what really determines the quality and efficiency of a foundational model is the data from the real world. And to extract the data from the real world, China believes that software part and hardware cannot be separated. To help you understand this, I like to bring an analogy in neuroscience. I think it's much like the nervous system and your body's interaction. So every movement and behavior you conduct in the world is not triggered, is not driven by the brain as a whole. It is actually triggered by many individual nervous circuits which have been formed accumulatively, continuously, all the interactions you have with the physical world over your lifetime. So the brain itself, as a physical being, as the information restored in your brain, doesn't really make that difference. What makes the difference is the nervous circuit. So let's say if you insert Einstein's brain stored with all his knowledge to my body, wouldn't make much of a differences because I still need to form all this nervous circuit even to access those data. Basically, we believe that real data quality matters the most, and it largely depends on the way to acquire data in the physical world and the way to process data, to use the data to train the model. If we have a quality data solution, we actually don't need that amount of data and computing power to achieve a good quality of foundational model. And this narrative is a Chinese narrative. And to be honest, it's not very known, at least not as known as their US rivalry, but it starts to show some very positive outcome recently. For instance, leading physical AI companies in China, such as Robotera AI, Giga AI, and Robotera, outperformed their US rivalries in some of the world-class robot competition. If you like to know more, you can take a look. Now, personally, I believe that China and the US will reach at parity in terms of the quality and the performance of physical AI foundational model. The reality is Chinese physical AI assets are shockingly and considerably undervalued compared with the US rivalries. We agree that Chinese brain is going to be no lesser than US brain. The valuation of top Chinese physical AI brain is only 20 billion RMB. Sheer number is not that insignificant, but if you compare the valuation of physical intelligence, pi, in the US, you will understand how shocking the gap is. But it could be your chance as foreign investors. Monetary is not the only thing we should pay attention in Chinese physical AI. There's much more to it. If you would like to know more, please like and share and comment on my channel. Bye.